Eid, a divine gift, preserving its beauty and blessings. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, Eid is an incredible blessing from Allah, a day of immense joy, gratitude, and worship. It is not just another holiday, rather it is a divine gift, an opportunity to express our thankfulness to our Creator for allowing us to complete Ramadan. It is a time to strengthen our bond with family, increase in acts of kindness, and celebrate within the boundaries set by Islam. However, as we embrace the excitement of Eid, many of us unknowingly fall into mistakes that can reduce the blessings of this sacred occasion. Certain actions, though common, can strip away the spiritual beauty of this day. This is why I want to take a moment today to remind myself and all of you about what we must avoid so that we do not taint the purity of Eid with heedlessness. Let us ensure that our celebration remains in accordance with the teachings of Islam, bringing us closer to Allah rather than distancing us from His pleasure. 1. The night of Eid, a time of gratitude, not sin. One of the biggest mistakes that people often make is misusing the night of Eid. Just think about this for a moment. Only a few hours before, on the last night of Ramadan, we were standing in prayer, our eyes filled with tears, our hearts softened, our tongues pleading for Allah's mercy and forgiveness. We begged Him to accept our fasting, our prayers, and our efforts in His obedience. We sincerely hope to be freed from the hellfire. But as soon as Ramadan ends, what happens? Many people, instead of continuing on the path of righteousness, rush into heedlessness. The night of Eid, which should be a time of dhikr, remembrance of Allah, and gratitude, is instead wasted on music, idle gatherings, smoking, and even interactions that displease Allah. Do we not see the contradiction here? A night that should be filled with thankfulness and devotion to Allah is instead turned into a night of negligence and disobedience. My dear brothers and sisters, this is not how we express gratitude for the blessing of Ramadan. Remember that Shaitan, who was locked away during Ramadan, is released as soon as the month ends. He does not wait. He immediately seeks to undo all the spiritual progress we have made. He whispers temptations, inviting us back into old habits, tricking us into thinking that Eid is a time to relax from acts of worship. But why should we abandon the good habits we built during Ramadan? Do not let Shaitan steal your blessings the moment he is released. Instead of wasting this night, spend it in reflection and thankfulness. Engage in extra prayers, recite Quran, and make dua that Allah accepts your deeds from Ramadan. Gather with your family in a way that is pleasing to Allah, speak words of gratitude, and maintain the spiritual connection you have built. Let the night of Eid be a night of purity, not indulgence in sin. 2. Visiting the graves on Eid, a misplaced practice. Another common mistake that people make is visiting the graves of their loved ones on the day of Eid. Now, we must understand that visiting graves is a commendable act in Islam. It reminds us of the hereafter, softens our hearts, and increases our consciousness of death. However, there is an appropriate time for everything, and Eid is not the time for mourning and sadness. Eid is meant to be a day of happiness and gratitude, a time to rejoice in the mercy of Allah. It is a day to spread love, to share joy, and to thank Allah for the blessings He has bestowed upon us. It is not a day of sorrow or grief. Our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, the best of all creation, did not visit the graves on Eid, nor did he instruct us to do so. If it was a recommended act on this day, he would have been the first to practice it, but instead he emphasized that Eid should be a day of celebration within the limits of Islam. If we wish to remember our deceased loved ones, we can pray for them at any time. We can give charity on their behalf, make dua for them, and visit their graves on other occasions. But let us keep Eid as it is meant to be, a day of gratitude and joy. 3. The issue of free mixing. Maintaining modesty on Eid is a time when families and communities come together. However, in the midst of the excitement and gatherings, we must be careful not to neglect the Islamic guidelines on modesty and gender interaction. It is unfortunate that in many Eid gatherings, people forget the boundaries set by Islam. Men and women mix freely, unnecessary interactions take place, and even physical contact, such as handshaking between non-mahram individuals, becomes common. Some people may think, it's just Eid, it's no big deal. But my dear brothers and sisters, we must remember that Allah's commands do not change based on occasion. True happiness and joy come from celebrating in a manner that pleases Allah. We do not need to compromise our values to enjoy Eid. In fact, the most fulfilling celebration is one where we uphold our Islamic principles with sincerity. Let us ensure that our gatherings remain within the boundaries of Islam. Let us celebrate with dignity, respect, and modesty, ensuring that we do not displease Allah in our pursuit of happiness. The growing trend of extravagant decorations. Subhanallah, today we see a concerning trend among some Muslims, adopting customs that are foreign to Islam in their Eid celebrations. In some homes, Eid is beginning to resemble non-Islamic festivals. We see extravagant decorations, bright lights, and even Eid trees inspired by other religious traditions. My dear brothers and sisters, this is not from our religion. If such practices were beneficial or encouraged, our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, would have been the first to implement them. But instead, he and his companions celebrated Eid with simplicity, gratitude, and acts of worship. Islam is a complete and perfect way of life. It does not need to borrow from other traditions. While it is perfectly fine to make our homes look festive for Eid in a simple and modest way, we must not go to extremes. We should focus on the essence of Eid, which is to glorify Allah, express gratitude, and strengthen our relationships with our families and communities. How should we celebrate Eid the right way? So what is the correct way to celebrate Eid? The answer is simple. In a way that is pleasing to Allah and aligned with the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Begin the day with gratitude. Start by performing ghusl, wearing clean and beautiful clothes, and engaging in dhikr. Perform the Eid prayer. This is a Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and a major part of the Eid celebration. Attend the congregation and listen to the khutbah attentively. Spend quality time with family. Strengthen your relationships. Express love and appreciation, and share in the joy of the occasion. Be generous and give gifts. Make children feel the happiness of Eid, so that they grow up cherishing this special day. Continue the good habits you built in Ramadan. Just because Ramadan has ended, it does not mean our good deeds should stop. Keep fasting, praying, making dua, and giving in charity. A final reminder, Eid is not just another holiday, it is an opportunity to thank Allah, to remain steadfast, and to celebrate in a way that brings us closer to Him. Do not waste this blessed day. Do not let the reward slip away. Celebrate with sincerity, with modesty, and with gratitude. May Allah accept all our acts of worship, forgive our shortcomings, and allow us to witness many more Eids in His obedience. Ameen.